Well, good day there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get my little tripod set up here. Okay, I've got a subject here that's, how should I say, might be informative, but more than likely a lot of you people are going to find it boring. Okay, I got a statement to make right off the get go. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to dissuade anybody from moving to the state of Montana or living here or anything like that. But if you don't know anything about the state of Montana and you live in another part of the world or part of the United States and you're given some serious thought about moving to Montana, there's some absolute facts that you need to know. And I believe that this video is absolutely warranted, for me to pass this information on. Okay, I'm 65 years old and I'm a native of the state of Montana. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, right off the get go, living in Montana is great. This country's real remote. We've got less than 1 million people that live in the state of Montana, and I know exactly why, too, because this is number one. This is a cold weather state. If you suffer with arthritis, if you're really, really super old, or you got rheumatism, and especially if you don't like to drive on crappy roads, and you don't know anything about SUVs or four-wheel drives or any of this other stuff, Montana's probably a good state to stay away from. I'm serious. You take like today is May 20th of 2017. Just 3 days ago, 2 days ago, we had a snowstorm here. A snowstorm, key in on that. Temperatures way down there in the 30s and whatnot have you. It was a wet, sloppy snow. And we had a lot of property damage here in Livingston, Montana. A lot of trees fell over, a lot of limbs fell on homes, and I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damages happened due to a freak sudden spring snowstorm. And that kind of stuff happens in the state of Montana. As a matter of fact, the coldest that it was ever recorded in the state of Montana years and years and years ago was in eastern Montana. They recorded temperatures of 110 degrees below zero with the wind chill factor. I didn't stumble with my words, ladies and gentlemen. 110 degrees below zero. This is a cold weather state. You don't like it cold? Stay out of here. Number two, the wages in Montana across the board are pretty low. If you're looking to come to Montana to get rich, especially working at these menial type jobs, forget about it. You're talking jobs that only pay $8, $9, $10 an hour and like that. I am not kidding you. You're just not going to get rich here. Okay. Back in the 1960s, and I realize this is 2017 and it's not the 1960s, but to give you an idea, in the 60s, I can clearly remember you could get an acre of land in the state of Montana for around $300 an acre. Now, a 10,000 square foot lot, which is less than a quarter of an acre, is going to cost you $100,000. $100,000. In other words, you're going to pay $10,000 per every 1,000 square feet, which I find to be absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Then you might as well figure you're going to spend another $250,000 wherever you're erecting a home. You're going to have a minimum of $350,000 to $400,000 in a home here in Montana if you go that way, if you do a new build. Okay? Plain and simple. That was number three. Number four, we've got this wonderful thing here in Montana called trophy ranches. I never thought I was going to ever live to hear a term like trophy ranchers. But you got rich people like Ted Turner. Oh, I don't even want to go down the list. You must have at least 100 major stars and starlets that have got property in the state of Montana, maybe 200. There's a lot of big outside money that's come into the state of Montana, and what these people have done is they bought prime real estate. They've caused the price of real estate to go sky high so that the average working man can't get him a home or a piece of land or any of that. This stuff has been going on for years. It started really in the late 60s, early 70s. I know. You know, and these rich yuppies, basically they've made it so that you can't go on their property. They've got all the good hunting blocked. I mean, I live here in Paradise Valley, Montana. Livingston, Montana is on the bottom side of Paradise Valley, which runs clear up to Yellowstone National Park, okay? Paradise Valley, Montana is a mecca for big game hunting. And I'm talking about big elk, big mule deer, and all that. Guess what? You can't even touch them. You can get more trouble for trespassing in the state of Montana than you can poaching. And this is the gospel, okay? So hunting is blocked. That's number 5. Retirement in this state, if you're really, like I alluded to this a little while ago, this is probably not the best state to retire in. Well, if you like peace and quiet and being remote and everything, it's fine. But if you suffer with arthritis, rheumatism, and all that, it's bad, okay? Okay, we got another little situation going on here. As far as I'm concerned, as a native Montana, we got a crooked legal system in the state of Montana. And I don't mind saying that, because you people that are guilty of this know who you are. See, we got a lot of real small communities, real remote communities that sit out in the middle of nowhere and whatever have you. And some of these cops and some of these district or county prosecutors or whatever have you get away with bloody murder, literally. It just goes with the territory. Cat, you can get yourself down. I'm normally not mean to my cat. Okay. I just wanted to tell you, and I could tell you horror story after horror story about some of the crooked cops and this legal crooked system, but I keep this file short, I won't. Number 8 is wintertime driving. Wintertime driving in Montana, to be quite frank with you, sucks. It's dangerous. The other day when we had that snowstorm that I just told you about that dumped over a bunch of trees and everything, there was at least 20 wrecks between here and Bozeman, Montana, which is just 30 miles away, right out here on I-90. There was approximately 30 wrecks coming and going. That's fact. I mean, this wind comes through this country. That's one thing about Paradise Valley. The snow here isn't as bad as other places in Montana, but what we do get a lot of is wind. We routinely get 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds. The fastest wind I've ever seen recorded in 12 years I've lived in Livingston is 105 miles an hour on a microburst. Okay? Number 9, we have a real short growing season here. You're dang lucky to get a garden in. And if you do a lot of successful gardening, the best way to do it is with a greenhouse. Because this weather and the way this land is, especially the way the weather is and everything, your garden's going to need a little help. Because if you, like up here in Livingston, I live on, the northwest side of Livingston on some hill structure, if you will, that's up above the city of Livingston, Montana. If I was to put in a great big garden outside, I can guarantee you what would happen. The first great big wind that come along, flatten my garden. So there you are. Now here's something that's number 10. Here's something that's really, really bad about living here. Depression. I had a VA mental health expert talk to me about this very issue, and he was telling me how, cat, go away. He was telling me, this was 18 months or so ago, about how many suicides that we got in the state of Montana. I figured that the state of Alaska was real bad, but he assured me that the suicide rate in the state of Montana is alarming. And it's mostly because of SAD, seasonal affective disorder. When it starts to get winter in Montana, excuse me, along about November, all the way through November, December, January, February, March, April, May, and like that, We put up with our fair share of what I call doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. That Aleutian Alaskan gray, where you don't see hardly any sun at all. And that's one of the reasons why that I'm sitting here shooting a video today inside. I'd rather be outside, but it's getting ready to rain. Okay? So you got that to put up with. You got to really protect yourself against depression. And also, there's a ton of real estate agents running around because Montana is the fourth biggest state in the union. If you're going to come here, do not take everything that a real estate agent says for the gospel. Just search the truth out for yourself. Because like I say, this is the fourth biggest state in the union. There's lots of places that you can inhabit in the state of Montana that make dang sure that if you put all your money into a property, it's where you want to be. Make sure of this. And really that's about it. Montana's great. We got great fishing here, and lots of people like to come here in the summertime. But in the wintertime, this picture changes, trust me. So, I hope this helped out some of you that are thinking about moving to Montana, and that's really basically all I've got to say. Thank you very much for watching the video, and let me turn this camera off.